It was the evening of June 12, 1994, when the quiet streets of Brentwood, Los Angeles, became the backdrop for one of the most infamous and controversial crimes in American history. Two brutal murders, an icon of sports and fame under suspicion, and a courtroom battle that divided an entire nation. This is the story of the O.J. Simpson case, a chilling tale of love, jealousy, and justice, or the lack of it. Stay with us as we unravel the shocking details of that fateful night, the infamous Bronco chase, and the trial that changed the course of American culture forever. Before he became the center of a media frenzy, O.J. Simpson was a national treasure. A star athlete, a Heisman Trophy winner, and a successful NFL running back, O.J. was known for his electrifying performances on the field. He transcended sports, becoming a familiar face in television commercials, movies, and broadcasting. But behind the scenes, his life was far more complicated. His marriage to Nicole Brown Simpson, which had lasted 7 years, was marred by accusations of domestic violence and control. Nicole had called the police multiple times during their marriage, claiming abuse. In one call, recorded in 1989, she pleaded for help, saying, "He's going to kill me." The cracks in their relationship were visible to close friends, and eventually, Nicole filed for divorce in 1992. Despite their separation, O.J. struggled to let go. Friends described him as possessive and prone to jealousy, often showing up at Nicole's home uninvited. But no one could have foreseen the horror that would take place on that fateful June night. On the night of June 12, 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson spent the evening at the popular Brentwood restaurant, Mezzaluna, with family and friends. Unbeknownst to her, this would be her last meal. That evening, Ron Goldman, a 25-year-old waiter and friend, was tasked with returning Nicole's mother's forgotten sunglasses to her home. He arrived at her condominium on Bundy Drive sometime after 10 p.m. Between 10:15 p.m. and 10:45 p.m., Nicole and Ron were attacked in what police would later describe as an act of overkill. Nicole was found lying at the foot of the stairs, her throat slashed so deeply it nearly decapitated her. Ron's body lay nearby, showing signs of defensive wounds, indicating he had fought back against his attacker. At 11 p.m., Nicole's Akita dog began barking frantically, alerting neighbors to something sinister happening in the night. But it wasn't until after midnight that the gruesome discovery was made. When officers arrived, they were met with a scene of unimaginable horror. Blood pooled on the walkway, footprints leading away from the bodies, a black leather glove lying near Nicole's body. What investigators didn't know yet was that the second matching glove was waiting for them at the estate of one of the most famous men in America. From the moment detectives surveyed the crime scene, suspicion quickly fell on O.J. Simpson. Nicole had reported abusive incidents before, and the brutality of the crime suggested a personal connection. When officers arrived at Simpson's Rockingham estate, they noticed something troubling. Blood droplets leading from the driveway to the front door. A second black leather glove, which matched the one found at Nicole's residence. Bloodstains inside Simpson's Ford Bronco. Detectives knocked on the door repeatedly but got no answer. Inside, O.J. was allegedly asleep, but houseguest Cato Kalin, a struggling actor living in O.J.'s guest house, had heard a series of loud thuds around 10:40 p.m., possibly when the killer returned home. As investigators connected the dots, all eyes turned to O.J. Simpson. But before police could take action, O.J. disappeared. On June 17, 1994, O.J. was scheduled to turn himself in, but instead he vanished, leaving behind a suicide note. What happened next became one of the most unforgettable moments in television history. Around 6 p.m., a white Ford Bronco driven by O.J.'s longtime friend Al Cowlings was spotted on the freeway. Inside, Simpson sat in the passenger seat, holding a gun to his head. A slow-speed chase ensued across Los Angeles, with more than 95 million Americans watching live on TV. Highways were shut down, police cautiously followed, and fans lined the streets, waving signs of support and disbelief. Eventually, O.J. returned to his Brentwood estate where he was taken into custody without incident. In the Bronco, police found a loaded gun, a fake mustache in disguise, a passport, and thousands of dollars in cash. The chase ended, but the real drama was just beginning. The O.J. Simpson trial began in January 1995 and immediately captured the world's attention. It was broadcast live daily, turning lawyers into celebrities and dividing public opinion. The prosecution, led by Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden, presented compelling DNA evidence, arguing that blood from the crime scene matched O.J.'s. The infamous glove, found at both the crime scene and O.J.'s home, was a critical piece of evidence. O.J.'s history of domestic violence pointed to a clear motive. But the defense team, known as the Dream Team, including Johnny Cochran, Robert Shapiro, and F. Lee Bailey, argued that O.J. was the victim of a racist and corrupt LAPD. Cochran's famous line, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," referring to O.J.'s struggle to put on the glove in court, became the turning point in the trial. The jury, composed largely of African-American jurors, deliberated for just 4 hours before delivering the shocking verdict. On October 3, 1995, the nation stood still as the jury delivered their decision. Not guilty. Gasps filled the courtroom. O.J. smiled, while Nicole and Ron's families were devastated. The verdict sparked outrage and relief in equal measure. Some saw it as justice served, others as a grave miscarriage of justice. While O.J. walked free, the civil courts had a different opinion. In 1997, he was found liable for wrongful death and ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages. Later in 2007, he was arrested for armed robbery and sentenced to 33 years in prison, leading many to believe it was karma finally catching up with him. Today, the O.J. Simpson case remains a reference point for discussions about celebrity, race, and justice in America. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most controversial cases in history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true crime stories. Do you think O.J. was guilty, or did the jury get it right? Share your thoughts in the comments below.